Very few BIM projects seem to be able to hand over usable asset data. In part, this is because clients haven't clearly defined what information they need and how it should be structured. We've drawn lessons from manufacturing industry where they standardise as much as possible, creating reusable libraries that have standardised sets of properties. This means the asset data can be automatically validated and the tested files flow straight into the asset management applications. Building Smart and the UK BIM Alliance have been doing great work to create that standardisation, but the way the information is presented can be very technical and difficult for lay people to interpret. They created an example asset information requirements spreadsheet, but it requires some expertise to interpret and it can seem overwhelming. We've simplified this process by creating a web platform that can take this data and break it down into individual packages for each specialist supplier, so they can focus on the things they must provide. We generate a specific data template for each system and asset and clear instructions as to what's required and most importantly what isn't. So let's look at how that's achieved. It works with reusable libraries of data, working up from asset types, the systems they're part of, the spaces they support, and any floors that form that facility. In each case, the libraries define the property sets required at different stages. For example, the designers are required to provide floor and space numbers, types of spaces, finished ceiling heights, and net areas of each space. A library of the types of systems that might be used in that type of building define the basic information they need to know about a system. In this case, they ask for a system description, the Uniclass category, and the contact details of the installation contractor. This set of requirements is saved in the library and can be used on all their other projects. The electrical designer or contractor can use this as a standard within their own systems to always deliver this information to this client. Below systems, we have libraries of asset types that can be pre-populated with their Uniclass, NRM, and even Omniclass categories, saving a big job for the supply chain. The asset type library can include an image to avoid misunderstandings, the standard naming and nomenclature, and all the possible properties one might ask for. The client simply ticks the information they want, and more importantly, omits what they don't want and saves that as a template. There's no getting away from the fact that defining the data required for an asset type does mean that someone has to go through the detail. But the beauty of the Activeplan Air is that it breaks it down into a series of logical steps, and when it's completed once, it's saved and reused by everyone else on all other projects. The mechanical specialist can focus on what the client's asked for. In this case, the Uniclass category, product manufacturer and model number, installation and warranty start date, and its XYZ coordinates. The PPM reference for this asset type can be pre-populated by the system to make it easier to transfer data at handover. The Air tool also integrates with the templater library that can hold libraries of other necessary property sets, such as this IFC requirement for anything that's electrically powered. By defining what documents are required, the specialist contractor can use the COBie dataset to automatically generate a digital O&M. This can save them time and cost and encourage them to gather and submit the right information because they can get a direct benefit. The Activeplan Air allows asset types to be mapped against systems, making it simple to issue a focused and specific set of requirements to each specialist designer and supplier. By selecting mechanical, the Air application creates a zip file that includes a Word document plus an Excel template for every asset type that might be in the ventilation system for designers and contractors to complete and return. Rather than leaving the data collection to the end of the project, the Air allows the client to define what information is required at each stage. If we look at COBie component, which is individual instances of each fan coil unit, for example, there are 15 attributes that must be provided. The first 9 are required at stage 3, develop design, and the remaining 5 at handover. With the Activeplan Air, everybody knows precisely what information they have to provide, how it needs to be formatted, and when it's required. Once the client has completed this for one project, those requirements go into a corporate library for use on the next project. That's the great thing about using libraries. Do it once and use it many times, saving time, cost and improving quality. And we think it's in the interest of all clients to standardise what they ask of supply chains, so they in turn can standardise what they provide. To help with this, we've created a community library which clients can choose to contribute to and draw from when they have a scheme that requires some new systems or asset types they don't have. If you'd like to know more about how Activeplan's BIM building blocks can help you and perhaps even join the community, please get in touch.